Hello, you called, and here I am. I am here to talk to you about a topic that I find very interesting, very fascinating at the very least. The topic is the end of days. We are living in the end of days for a lot of people, for a lot of religions. We are living in the end of days, and we are living in the last days in a lot of ways. Economically, we are living in the last days. Even to an extent, biologically, I would say we are living in the last days. In a lot of ways, we are the last people. After this, we are just we're gonna meld with machines or something like that's gonna happen. By we, obviously not me. I'm not gonna meld with machines, not in this life at the very least. So there is a convergence, a confluence of timelines, let's say. We are living in the times that were prophesized in a lot of holy books, in the Bible, in the last days, Armageddon, the apocalypse, and the Mayans spoke about 2012 shifting, or a new timeline starting. So a new timeline, let's say, has started. And because this new timeline now is converging, and the Hopi prophecy, you have a lot of collective mythos that conclude that symptomatically, at the very least, even Islam, symptomatically, Kali Yuga, symptomatically, at the very least, we're living in the last days. And I would not be surprised that we are. We are in the last days, and we are going to make choices in this life that are going to shape the future and the way the future unfolds for you and for me and for everyone else. So we're going to choose optimal. We're going to make choices, and those choices are going to manifest in optimal timeline realities that we're going to manifest collectively, obviously, because it's all the collective. So if the collective stays in this sort of fear and this mindset that it is the end of days, which again, as I said, it is, but the end is always a beginning, which the religious nutbags don't really seem to get. And they're doing everyone a disservice, dragging everyone down. Their fear, their scare tactics about how the end of days is gonna collapse everything. But collapse eventually just means rebuilding, all right? So I'm here to rebuild a new world. And I hope a lot of you are also here to rebuild a new world, a better world. So since people believe that it is the end of days, and the world wars and the pandemics and all of that playing into the Armageddon scenarios, all these prophecies mention the split of two different kinds of people, and this split is happening right now. This is the split in consciousness, where two different kinds of people are going to come into the new world, or be the creators of the new world. Now there will be a synthetic sort of timeline that is obviously also going to manifest for a little while, and or it is manifesting right now. If this is not the preface of a synthetic timeline, I don't know what is. In a lot of ways, things are getting very synthetic. Yeah? The meta and all of those things, virtual reality, AI. And people are becoming enmeshed in this altered perception of reality, forgetting that real reality still exists and is marvelously, marvelously beautiful. Sorry, going back. So this confluence, this place that we are standing at in history, where the choices that we make determine the future that we experience. This point that we are at now, the religious Armageddon, the religious end of the world, it has to be understood in relative terms to the world that we are living in. So I understand that religions speak about dragons coming out of the sea with 10 heads and 12 horns and things like that, and all the elders and the numbers and the. So it talks about these things from a symbolic perspective, right? They're not literal. How can they be literal? How can the religions, especially Christianity, how can they expect that the literal Jesus Christ is going to come down from the skies, that a Semitic looking man is going to descend from the heavens above and is going to instantly vanish everyone that is Christian, and they are the only ones that is going to be saved, that are going to be saved, and everyone else is going to be banished for all eternity because everyone else is so bad, right? They deserve it. The ego behind that mythology. And mythology is simply it's simply symbolism, using symbolism to narrate stories. So I was very opposed to the idea of consciousness and Christ consciousness and things like that, but I was very opposed to it, actually, to be very honest, because I did think from a very religious perspective. I did not understand that spirit is divorced from religion, that religion is a very small understanding of spirit, that spirit is something far greater than religions can make them understand. Religions are good things to fall back on when you have to understand that there are some essential truths that have been spoken that that new spirituality cannot really change. So all religions are essentially talking about the same things, right? What being a good person is being a good person in every religion. It's not like one religion saying you go stab someone in the heart and take out their heart and eat it and then you're a good person. No one is saying that. Christians seem to really really freak out about it. They really freak out about the concept of sharing heaven with other people from other religions who just didn't follow the same mythos, but they were good people, maybe even better, moralistically in a lot of ways. So my point being that these are not literal stories. These are not literal things that are going to happen. Literal dragons from the seas are not going to rise. Literal 666 is not the mark that you're going to get on your hand or your forehead. These are not literal things. These are metaphors and symbols for something. And that means that Jesus Christ descending from the skies above and rapturing Christians and taking them to heaven is also symbolic. It is not literal. You cannot take religion literally. You cannot believe that a Semitic man would descend from the skies and instantly take everyone and vanish everyone. And you cannot believe in anthropomorphic deities that can literally exist, because they can't literally. Shiva is not sitting on Kailash. It's not literally there.